What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve Fault, and welcome to 10 Count Media. On today's edition, I'm talking to the MVP of the Money in the Bank. It's Chelsea Green. How you doing today?
I'm so good. I feel like I'm on cloud 9 after Money in the Bank.
Well, you kind of fell from cloud 9 through 2 tables as well, but let's talk about that, because that is the viral clip that's going wild right now. Everyone's seeing you fall this ladder over the top rope through 2 tables. Now, how are you feeling physically, and obviously, how was that moment in hearing the crowd roar?
Physically, I mean, it's all blur. I've got some bumps and bruises on my arms to show for it, but it really was a blur. But mentally and emotionally, I will never ever forget that moment. There's some moments in my career that have been really, really amazing, and that is going to be added to that list.
Wow. What's else on that list then?
I mean, definitely wrestling Pentagon. I would say going through the table with Deanna at Queen of the Mountain, and All In.
Wow, that's a heavy list of Mount Rushmores for the Chelsea Green memories. So hopefully we add more and we can swap some around, maybe add some more in. But that's amazing, because I was at Money in the Bank. I was in the crowd. And when they heard your music even play to come out for the match, Canada, they went crazy for you. And your inspired gear, obviously, from Canada. Now, who made your gear? Because it was beautiful.
So my gear maker, Josh, made it, but I have a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that send me designs. And one of them I actually messaged and said, and I tagged him on all my pictures. I said, like, how do you feel about making me a Canadian inspired gear? I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it. I don't know how this is even going to work. But do what you want. All I want is to make sure it's red and white, and there's, Canada. It's inspired by Canada. And wow. I mean, what the two of them came up with and put together was so much better than I could have imagined. And to be able to wear my cowboy hat that I've worn in other companies and I brought back, it was just really, really fun. And I already knew going to Canada was going to be special, but then to hear the crowd, we did a press conference or a kickoff show the day before, to hear the crowd, then I was like, oh shit. Saturday is going to be insane for everyone. The crowd was just, man, they had so much energy, and that's all you can want. I will speak for every international in WWE. All you can pray for is that when you go to your home country, they show out. That's because you just want to prove, see, we should leave the United States. We should come here. It's like a pride thing.
Oh man, yeah, I was there. Again, I crossed the border for you, and it was intense. People absolutely loved it. And I talked to you, I think, the day after the Royal Rumble this past year, where you were clearly, again, the MVP of the Royal Rumble, because you were creating moments and highlight reels. This Money in the Bank, same situation. You come out, you're trying to jump up, you can't do it, you're afraid of heights. Where was that inspired? Because was that also from the Royal Rumble inspiration of, okay, I'm not winning, but I need to create these moments that everyone's going to be talking about after?
Well, at first, for the first year of my career back in WWE, I didn't realize that they were moments. I was just playing up my character. And then when it clicked and the internet started telling me that these are moments, then I started paying more attention. So I definitely went in knowing, okay, I can't just turn off Chelsea Green, the character, and be like some cool girl who can do everything or is fearless. That just doesn't work. That's not fun for me. That's fun for all the rest of the girls. They really are like that, but that's not me. So I knew I touched on the Rumble and how I needed some moments like that, but I didn't know what they were. And I didn't even have to worry, because Ken Doan from the Spirit Squad and Petey Williams, a Canadian Destroyer master, Petey, they were the ones that came with ideas for me. They have always, for the past 2 years, come with ideas for me. They know my character so well that if I am mentally not there that day, they are there. They give me the best ideas, the best inspiration, and then I just execute it as best I can, or in a way that is, realistic to the character Chelsea.
Yeah, and it's every article you read on any wrestling website is all about how WWE backstage praising your performance, and you must be loving that. And plus, Chad Gable in an interview, he was talking about how you maximize all your minutes. No matter what you're doing, you are
Chad
you.
saying that means everything to me, because like WWE management or WWE uppers, like they can say that, but I don't know where that's coming from. What I do know is that Chad said those words. That's my coworker, my peer. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the most nervous to perform in front of my peers. It's very nerve-wracking. So I sent that article to Maxine. I was like, Chad loves me.
Well, she's on the outs on TV, I guess, with Chad right now, but backstage is a whole different story. Though, earlier you talked about some of the highlights of your career involving Deonna in TNA recently. NXT and TNA. You're a knockout for life. You're also a diva. You're also a women's wrestler. You have so many layers to you, but TNA involved NXT. Joe Henry was on last night. We had the Rascals showing up, having a reunion. Are you feeling a little jealous of what's happening in NXT?
Very, very, very jealous. I mean, I wish we could rewind the clock and go back to 2016. And I wish I could have brought the Knockouts title to NXT. But everything happens for a reason. And I feel like now I'm in the perfect place in my career where I can take on Jordynne Grace or take on the Knockouts tag champs, or, head back to TNA and make a splash there. The options are endless. So now I just need someone to actually let me go.
Yeah, we have seen the crossover so far with NXT wrestlers, but we haven't seen one from Raw and Smackdown drop into TNA yet. Are you surprised to see this? Because go back 2016, this would never be the case. We would never see them even acknowledge that TNA existed. Now, working together, is this shocking to you?
Oh, it's absolutely shocking. I remember so I've been wrestling for 10 years now. I've always heard, WWE is going to buy TNA's books. WWE might buy Impact Wrestling, like all these things. You just hear so much on the internet, but nothing has ever even come close to coming to fruition. So to now see this crossover that I thought would never in a million years happen. I mean, it makes sense. Of course, so many of us came from TNA and Impact. And there's going to be so many more to come. I mean, come on. Impact is the perfect place to hone your craft, to then take it to WWE and put it on the grandest stage of them all. So I think that this makes perfect sense. But I mean, I'm jealous, and I'm so happy for everyone that gets to experience this, because there's something so magical about TNA and the fans and the crowd and the intimacy of performing for them.
Yeah, I used to go to college in Full Sail, so I go to the Impact tapings, when Abyss and AJ Styles and all of that. It's been amazing to see. Is there someone though, the Hot Mess character showing up in TNA again, or would it be the Chelsea Green we adore and love now?
I think it should be. It's obviously my heart wants the Hot Mess.
Yeah.
My heart will forever want the Hot Mess, but that would have to be a really good long storyline.
Yeah.
That made sense. I can't we've had her retired for so long, and people have begged me for so long, and I dabbled my first run in NXT trying to bring her back, and I couldn't find a way that connected with me and the fans and the coaches and everything. So it would have to really, really make sense and be thought out. So I guess for right now, I would just bring back this iteration of Chelsea Green, knowing that Laurel Van Ness and the Hot Mess is there and could come out at any moment.
Oof. We need it. We love it. We adore it. Now, speaking more about Money in the Bank, I went to the press conference after. We had Triple H, we had CM Punk, we had John Cena. We'll get to him in a minute, but you also had to hold your own press conference. And Adam Pearce shows up and interrupts it and tells you to get a drink. We're talking about TNA and the WWE working together. We would never think that. Could we ever see an intergender match between Chelsea Green and P-Head Adam Pearce?
I'm trying. I've been pushing for it for a year now. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I want a intergender match where loser, because it's going to be him, is not GM. Winner gets GM position.
Ooh, please.
I have been trying my best. I've been putting it on the internet. I've been putting it on social media. I've been pitching it, and I will continue to pitch it as long as Pearce exists.
That'd be a great storyline, because lately we've been seeing storylines that last more than just 3 weeks. They've been going months, years now. And this one with you and Adam has been going on for a long time as well. The culmination of you becoming GM and him kind of being like your butler for, maybe you can be GM for 30 days. He doesn't have to be forever.
But it doesn't have to be forever. I just need him to realize that I am my own boss. I don't need a GM. And Sir Nicholas the Prickles too. I'll take them both.
You got good nicknames, I have to admit. John Cena, though, did announce he's retiring. He's going to have the world tour next year from January to December. What were your thoughts on that? Hearing John Cena actually come out and say, I'm going to be done December 2025.
I mean, it was a very emotional moment. We were all shocked. We were all shocked to see him there. We were all shocked at the announcement. I definitely had no idea that was coming. I was so surprised. John is like one of those men who just like, he never ages and he's never going to leave wrestling. Like, that's how we all feel, right? So to hear that was really, really shocking. I mean, I'm excited to see what comes next for him, but now I'm just hoping that, my husband can get in there for one of his last matches.
Oh, the revenge. I know we have to bring up Eve Torres and Kane and all that, but
right.
That shit made me so angry at the time. Like, what are you doing, John? You're stealing Zack Ryder's girl on television, and he's letting him being pushed off the ledge in a wheelchair with a broken neck and a back. Like, you're a piece of garbage in 2011. I mean,
look, the 2000s fans would just eat that up. It would be nostalgia at its finest while bringing in like the new era.
Yes. Oh my God. Speaking of your husband, when you were one half of the women's tag team champions, he showed up with a replica belt, but everyone thought it was the real one. And boy, did the internet go crazy for a moment. Was there a conversation with anyone being like, hey, does he have the real belt on right now?
Well, so shockingly, no. Nobody, like no one backstage asked me about it. And I was surprised because I told him, like, Matt, you're going to get me in trouble. I mean, I know I'm at home with the belt and I can prove it if anyone calls me. But I was nervous. But no, he overnighted his own the minute I won that title in Atlanta. He overnighted his own championship belt to the house. And he has taken that thing on a wild ride, and he has done the same thing with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yes, we did see that. He was backstage, but that was so funny. I'm like, oh my God, like, does he actually have the real belt? What is happening here? Trouble is coming.
Very stressful to be married to the Deathmatch King and the Indie God. He really does what he wants.
I will give him some credit, though. I was about a month ago in like a bit of a pickle. He DM'd me and gave me some words of encouragement. And I was like, I'm sorry, what's happening here? What?
Oh my gosh.
So I will give him the thumbs up to whatever he does next, whatever happens next. I don't care. I will always support him because I didn't message him. He messaged me.
No, and that's very rare. I just want you to know that. He must have been having a very good day because he's such an introvert. He does not like put himself out there like that.
Well, I thank him for that. And I thank you for your entertainment on Raw and Money in the Bank. But is Hollywood in the future? Do you want that to be the next step? Because it seems like with Netflix and John Cena and The Rock, it feels like there's a crossover of celebrities and wrestlers more so than ever, and everyone's enjoying it. Is that what you want to do? You want to cross over to the other side?
Yeah. I mean, I've been taking acting classes for a few years now. I audition weekly, whether it's like, for fun or for real auditions or just to keep my like skills up. And I filmed a Christmas show last year. So that'll be coming out this November, a Christmas movie, kind of Hallmark style-ish. So yeah, of course that is, but I love acting so much that I just want to make sure it's done right. I don't want to half-ass anything, and that's why I take classes, and that's why I'm constantly like trying to practice and and get better at acting, because I don't want to go out there and ruin it. If I'm going to act, I'm going to act. It's going to be, I'm going to dive all in, and I don't want anyone to question or to bring into it that I'm a wrestler.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. We have a lot of wrestling acting going on. We have a lot of wrestling actors. I don't want to be that. What I'm doing right now with WWE is one thing, and that will be something completely separate.
Oh man. So November, the Christmas special's coming out. Oh man.
Christmas movie is coming out. I believe it's called A Bluegrass Christmas. I don't know if that's a working title or not. But I'm very excited because it is kind of my first acting job in the past like 4 years or so. I acted a little bit in Canada, but this will be the start of my American acting career, I guess you could say.
I love watching those holiday movies. Everyone watches Elf and, Christmas Vacation, but when I sit down and on Hallmark or Fall of a Lifetime, I enjoy those things. They're so cheesy, but they're the best things ever because they're just pure.
Like feel good moments. Like when I read this script, I knew exactly where we were going with this, and I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be involved in this, and I'm so glad that they chose me.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that movie coming out in November. But also things that have been happening in the WWE is the Wyatt Six, Bo Dallas returning to television, and everyone. I was at WWE World when they had the Bray Wyatt panel, the documentary, and JoJo and Undertaker, and so many people with that. It was so emotional. But for you, what is it like seeing Bray Wyatt's characters alive and well on television, and Bo Dallas bringing forth so many more elements to the layers of the Bray Wyatt history?
I mean, I love it. I love any sort of character work anyway, but to kind of like do this for Bray, I think that's the greatest compliment to his life, is to be able to carry on this amazing legacy of, I mean, he just brought something so unique and special to WWE, outside of his personality, because his personality was amazing. He was such a kind, smiley human being that was very warm and welcoming. Besides that, he brought to the WWE just something that we hadn't seen, a realistic horror thriller creepy character, and nobody had done it like that. So now to be able to carry on his legacy, I really do think it's the greatest compliment, and I'm sure he is smiling down at his brother and everyone else. Just, I mean, what more could we as wrestlers have done, right, to honor him? That was perfect.
It was amazing to see, and we all love Bray Wyatt, and we all miss him dearly as fans, as colleagues, as family members. But seeing his character still alive on television is just like, it's quite amazing, because it's really impossible, it feels like, for that to exist in any other character, like a wrestler. It's like Bray Wyatt did that because he created so many memories and so many amazing characters over the years. So
and now we just need an Alexa Bliss return.
Thank you.
We need an Alexa Bliss return, and I hope that happens. I hope this year or WrestleMania that happens. I think that would be an awesome button on what Bray started.
Yes, I agree, because I don't know if you've noticed, but we've noticed the WWE loves to use their giant ass production trucks as clues to WWE storylines. And one of them, Chad Gable, was afraid of the Wyatt Six. He's turning around, but the truck is a picture of Alexa Bliss, and we've seen that before already. So,
I did not know this. You're teaching me something I did not know.
Oh, go back to when The Rock was whipping Cody's ass outside in the rain. The truck behind him had John Cena on it and Stone Cold. I understand Stone Cold and WWE couldn't figure out a deal, so obviously Undertaker stepped in for that spot, and so the trucks are giving us a lot of clues lately.
Look, I don't know if that's just you guys being cuckoo bananas, but I'm going to believe it. And I'm going to now look. I better see myself on a truck next to a WrestleMania logo.
Oh my God. It's like, there's The Rock walking, and there's your face on the truck. Like, Chelsea versus The Rock's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
41. I can't wait, Vegas. Oh man. recently though in NXT you were there and Ariana Grace, and you had a crying moment backstage, but it was like seeing sisters reuniting. And what's that like? Because the chemistry was there, was just boom, instant for me at least.
Well, for one, she's Canadian. And I just want you to know that Canadians do just immediately mesh. I don't know how that works. I don't know why it works, but that's just how Canadians do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that when I wrestled Empower, we had that long gauntlet match.
Yep.
That was the main event of Empower. She was in it. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that was her very, very first match. And I took her under my wing and tried to help her, kind of come up with a move set so that she would look good when she came in. She would feel comfortable. I took some bumps from her. And ever since then, I've just felt this like little bit of my heart that's like, I love watching her, kind of glow up. And now she's at NXT, and this character is so me. Like if I could have chosen that character, I absolutely would have. And I love it. Her dad and I have always, got along. We worked at TNA together, so that we've got like a lot of ties that people don't know about. So when I went there and they said, "Oh, you're going to do this backstage," and I was like, "Why? I have a tag partner in this," and they said it was with her. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I don't care what I'm doing. I am in. And I actually had heard that there was talk of us being put together as a tag team in NXT outside of Raw, outside of SmackDown. So I'm hoping that could still be a thing, because I would love that.
Oh my, I would too. We saw a little glimpse of you and Robert Stone as well. Like there's so many memories in NXT. So all I have to say is though, you are the MVP of the Money in the Bank match, falling off, doing amazing spots, being memorable. I know Tiffy Time won, but in reality, the winners were the fans watching you fall off that ladder through those double tables.
Thank you for sending me the video. It was really, really cool. That's one thing that I will say. Like the one thing I enjoyed about Saturday night and getting into bed was looking at my DMs and seeing everyone's angle. Everyone had a different angle. And actually, even yesterday, Matt showed me a new angle that I haven't seen from right beside the table, a fan right in front of the table. So I really thought that was amazing. But on top of watching myself and being self-absorbed and a narcissist, it was really, really cool to sit on the outside around the ring as the match was happening and watch the girls and hear the crowd. I mean, Lyra taking that power bomb and Zoe taking the Michinoku driver, and and Tiffany unhooking the briefcase. It was really amazing because we were all in it together. And as much as we want to beat each other up and win, at the end of the day, like it was so much fun to be in there with all the women and to have like Naomi leading charge and stuff like that. So I'm happy I was in that match, and it's going in my history books.
Well, it was the match of the night, 100% in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. But again, Chelsea Green, I hope you and Adam Pearce have a match soon, maybe WrestleMania. I'll watch the trucks. If you walk in and Adam Pearce is on that truck, I'm assuming it's happening at WrestleMania. But thank you so much for being here on Tank. I'm Seafall. She's Chelsea Green. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.